Hey, what's up? I'm a big Left 4 Dead fan. Left 4 Dead 2 is a game I've spent many hours playing and mastering. I mean, hell, I've even played Left 4 Dead 1. So it stands to reason, I'd be pretty hyped for a crossover or collab of some sort for Left 4 Dead 2. And as it turns out of all the relatively few collabs Left 4 Dead has gotten, the one that stands out the most is Dead by Daylight, and me, have been getting into Dead by Daylight recently. Sort of. Left 4 Dead is a 4-player zombie or infected shooter game, and Dead by Daylight is a 5-player asymmetrical horror game where 4 survivors try to escape a killer who's trying to put them on meat hooks. I mean, hey, Left 4 Dead even has an asymmetrical versus mode, so this collab is pretty strong and makes sense. Along with that, both heavily involve restarting generators so survivors can escape and succeed or be killed and lose. With a big inspiration from horror movies, but a game like this, you can't have a collaboration without characters. The only unique character to the collaboration is William Bill Overbeck, or Bill from Left 4 Dead, as a survivor. Bill happens to be the only licensed character that you can just have for free by owning Dead by Daylight. It's a part of some rule Valve has on collaborations that they need to be free, which from what I saw isn't always true. Bill is not entirely alone. DBD, Dead by Daylight, keep up, does have other default survivors. While they are unique to Dead by Daylight, they do have Left 4 Dead inspired costume sets. All the defaults have a generic red Left 4 Dead t-shirt if you own either Left 4 Dead games, though I do wish it referenced any one of the characters that didn't get a costume. Now going down the list of survivors, Dwight Fairfield has an Ellis outfit with coverall pants that make it look like he's wearing a diaper. Dwight and Ellis dress pretty differently, but they certainly have a similar vibe and look. And the whole thing with Dwight is that he's worked at a lot of jobs, and I mean, maybe he was a mechanic once. That could have been a thing. Next up is Meg Thomas. She is a high school student, much like how Zoe from Left 4 Dead is a college student. Both being young and full of energy, it makes a lot of sense that Meg would have a Zoe costume set, which just kind of looks like Zoe. I mean, that's just Zoe. Her hair even has a reference to Zoe's internal name in the files of Left 4 Dead, Teen Angst. Pretty cool. Claudette Morrill has a Rochelle outfit. Claudette Morrill is a botanist and Rochelle isn't, but I mean, I guess Rochelle could like flowers. It's not impossible. I'm just glad the game even has a Rochelle outfit because I know a lot of people in the Left 4 Dead community fucking hate Rochelle, and I don't know why. I think she's a cool character. Okay, Jake Part has a Francis outfit. The Left 4 Dead inspired outfits is mostly pretty good. However, none of them provide any actual gameplay changes to the game except Bill, because I mean, he is a full-ass character. You see, Dead by Daylight has perks. Perks modify a survivor or killer while they have the said perk equipped. While killers may have different major gameplay changes from each other, so the perks just aim to expand what they could do. Every survivor pretty much plays the same, they're all just skins of each other. It's just their sets of perks that change their gameplay. But because you can swap out perks and use perks from other survivors, it really doesn't mean anything to use whatever survivor. The Left 4 Dead crossover only adds a survivor, Bill, and therefore only adds perks for survivors, so I mean, we'll focus on the survivor side of things. Makes it a lot easier for me. Dead by Daylight is a game all about restarting generators to open up an exit and escaping with a group of 4. So it makes sense that perks for survivors in this game would revolve around generators' survivability, support, and helping down or hooked survivors. Bill's perks go as such. Borrowed time makes it so survivors
I messed up this part. I accidentally listed off the old version, which would give whoever you save off took a brief period of invincibility once off took. The current version just makes whomever you save faster off took for a bit. Thanks DBD Wiki for displaying versions right to left hard emoji.
If you're the last survivor left, a hatch will open across the map. So you can either choose to do the hatch or the generators, unless the hatch gets closed. The left behind perk just highlights the hatch if you're nearby. The left behind hatch. Dead by Daylight has a health system. Survivors can take 2 hits before they're downed and have to be rescued by another survivor. The Unbreakable perk simply just makes it so that once per round, if you are downed, you can simply pick yourself back up. Because I mean, like, why don't the survivors just think that? That would just make sense, right? Dead by Daylight comes with 4 perk slots for every survivor and killer. Bill only comes with 3 perks, just like any other survivor or killer that you could get, meaning that you can have the full Bill set and still leave room for 1 perk of your choosing. Personally, I use Deja Vu. Now, as for story, Dead by Daylight's story is similar to Fortnite, of all things. The premise is versions of characters are pulled from their respective universe by the entity. A big spider thing? It's not important. Where Left 4 Dead comes into the picture is the 7th tome. Tomes are essentially these weird quest things. The 7th tome is called the Forsaken. Basically, at the end of the sacrifice from Left 4 Dead, when Bill sacrifices himself and is the passing away, the entity takes him and his body is never found and he's brought to Dead by Daylight. But without his M16. There's also some other story stuff for Bill, like his time during the event of Left 4 Dead fighting a tank, who's mysteriously silent. I bet they probably just couldn't get his voice actor. But that's really all there is to Bill's story. There's some stuff showing his time in the war before the events of Left 4 Dead, which gives us his bloodied army outfit, which I wish it honestly weren't bloody since it just looks really bad. And every character already gets a bloody variant of their default outfit as part of prestiging them to level 6. So, I mean, it's pretty unnecessary. He also has a masquerade outfit. The masquerade is basically an anniversary event for Dead by Daylight. The outfit is fitted with amusing descriptions of him trying to escape a party, like it's a horror movie or something. And he's also got a nice ugly Christmas sweater with some zombies, Bill's favorite gun, and a nice Left 4 Dead 1 green. If there's anything that's really missing from this collab, it's just the rest of the Left 4 Dead cast's outfits. Lewis is the only member of the Left 4 Dead 1 cast missing, unless this figure on Bill's outfit is supposed to be him. It's a real shame. I like Lewis, but I understand that the same with Coach. There isn't really anyone in the default Dead by Daylight lineup that really fits him, without it being questionable. But I honestly think Nick would have been a better choice over Francis for Jake Park. I mean, you saw that outfit. I think it would have evened out the survivors to be from Left 4 Dead 4. I think it would have evened out the survivors to be from Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2 a bit more equally for big greasy nerds like me. The next big thing that's missing is a matching killer for the Left 4 Dead franchise. I mean, it could be the tank, the witch. Did you imagine the jockey? I mean, he could be a skin for the twins. Honestly, it's a real shame we didn't get any killers for Left 4 Dead. Witch skin for the hag. Yes, that's her name. Would be pretty cool too. The worst part is it just seems like we won't be getting any Valve stuff for Dead by Daylight anytime soon anyways. Valve's supposed policy of their characters needing to be free means that behavior, the devs of Dead by Daylight, are not going to be spending so much time on something that needs to be free. So, no Half-Life, no Portal, no Team Fortress 2, and yes, sadly that means no more Left 4 Dead. One less major thing to mention about Left 4 Dead and Dead by Daylight is Noam Chomsky. Wait, get out of here, little guy. No, I mean Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky is a garden gnome from Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which gets launched into space both in Half-Life 2 and our real world. And after Half-Life would appear in Left 4 Dead 2's Dark Carnival. In Dead by Daylight, a limited time event would have Sir Chomsky spawn during the endgame collapse. Endgame collapse is basically the game's ending timer to prevent stalling. If any survivors are left on the map while the timer ends, they will instantly die. During the limited time event, Noam Chomsky would spawn during endgame collapse, and if any survivor or killer finds him and stomps on the gnome, they and only they will get a Noam Chomsky charm. That's really it for Left 4 Dead and Dead by Daylight that I have to say. And even though Bill's voice is a bit off since it's just some random guy at behavior, I think this collab is still really well done, especially since it was one of the game's first collabs. Honestly, it beats a lot of early Fortnite collabs, and it's pretty cool to see Bill stand next to characters like the Xenomorph, Mike Myers, the Demogorgon, Chucky, Leon Kennedy, Springtrap, Ghostface, Nicolas Cage, Cheryl Mason, and a pedophile.
Jared Fogle! The subway guy!
I also just like to play Bill a lot. He's my highest level character, so yeah. I guess this means this video is left for closed.
Start recording. Okay. Zoopy voice. Hello
everybody, thank you for watching. My name is Zoopy, and I really appreciate you watching my video about Bill from Left 4 Dead and Dead by Daylight. I really appreciate it. There's no animations in this one, and that's because I didn't have time. Please watch my Gremlins 3 video. It's really good. Thank you for watching, and bye.
Subscribe.
No, run!
Okay, you don't gotta yell. Jeez.
Isn't being alive what life is all about? You don't have to answer that right now.
So, shh! Don't beep at me about the oil.